We're live. Hello, everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl, Sighren, right here on the Sighren Speak Show. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, y'all, let me get this right on together. Shout out to y'all and happy, Monday, right? Before we get started, y'all know exactly what it is I got to do. I got to get into a little bit of truth serum. Y'all know the truth serum helps me to go in, okay? All right, let's see what's going on with everything as we know. So y'all, today we are going to be talking about how to turn frustration into fuel, okay? Because that's something a lot of us deal with, and we shouldn't be dealing with it like that. We should know how to deal with it. So we're going to talk about how to turn frustration into fuel in both love and life, okay? So both love and life, all right? How to turn frustration into fuel. And we're also going to talk about some high-tech habits, okay, that you guys can inherit in both love and life as well. Because when it comes to technology, y'all know Sighren is always telling y'all, you know, about the machine and stuff like that. And there are things that we can do so that we can allow the machine to work for our advantage as opposed to our disadvantage, okay? So we're going to talk about high-tech habits that we can develop in both love, okay, and regular life, all right? Y'all, this thing is really like, this hat makes me look like I got a black eye, like over here. I'm like, what is this little shadow thing? Honey, y'all probably over there like, Sighren, blink twice if it's okay, honey, blink twice. Let me get me something to drink, honey. My throat is a little dry today, okay? Miss Copper wanted to make an appearance, as y'all can see. I tell you guys all the time about the advantage of consuming water from genuine copper. Okay, for those of you who want one of these beautiful copper mugs, you can go to spiritualcandies.com and you can purchase you a authentic, okay, copper mug, you guys. 100% solid copper. Right? You can Google the properties or the advantages or the benefits of consuming water from a copper mug, you guys, okay? And you can go anywhere and you can find one. However, there are people out there who say copper because of it's the color, not that it is solid 100% copper, okay? So yes, you guys, this is a solid 100% copper mug. For those of you interested, go to spiritualcandies.com and get you one, I strongly suggest, okay? So shout out to those of you who have ordered it because we only have a few left. So before we get started on all of the topics, you guys, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the sponsors of the Sighren Speak Show. Shout out to Fan First Entertainment, you guys. Not only are they a Miami-based record label, they are also a full-service entertainment company. Regardless of what type of event it is that you are having, Fan First Entertainment got all of your needs covered, okay? They have access to tables, bounce house, DJ, caterers, decorations, whatever it is that you need, food, drinks, everything that you need. It is a one-stop shop, you guys. So please make sure you check out Fan First Entertainment for all of your events, okay? Whether they are corporate, whether they are personal, or whether they are memorial, okay? Regardless of what it is, Fan First Entertainment got you. All right. Also, we want to give a shout out to Southern Soul LA, you guys. Southern Soul LA is a LA-based soul food restaurant, you guys. Please, if ever you are in the LA area, definitely make sure that you get a plate of this food. I tell you guys all the time, this is one of the best plates I have had in my life. I am not selling that to y'all. I am telling that to y'all, okay? So shout out to Southern Soul LA, you guys. You can go there. You can call and you can go online. You can place your orders, you guys. Trust me, you want a testimony. You want a testimony of this one before you get on up off this earth. You do, okay? So shout out to Southern Soul LA. And you guys, please be advised that the views, the thoughts, okay, the advice, the everything of Spiritual Candies and the Sighren Speak Show are not those of my sponsors, okay? So they do not think how I think. They do not believe what I believe. They do not say what it is that I say. These are my own thoughts, my own views, okay? And shout out to my sponsors for supporting the platform where I can come on and express my thoughts and my views to the public. So shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. You guys, before we get started, Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde. Okay, I don't know how many of you are prepared, but shout out to those of you who got your Mercury retrograde products from spiritualcandies.com. Now, listen, you want to get a consultation, okay, the Mercury retrograde consultation. You definitely want to get that because you want to know what life lesson it is that will be coming up for you. That's the information that the consultation will be providing. All right. If you get the Mercury retrograde bath, you guys, that is just going to help you to kind of go through whatever the situation is. You're not going to know what's going on. You're just going to be able to deal better with the slow technology and the this, the that. It just really helps you to deal better with it. It helps you to not be as you know, when Mercury goes retrograde, we don't tend to think as fast and, you know, as accurate and as sharp as we would like to. So when you take the bath, it will help you to deal with the effects, okay, of Mercury in its retrograde phase, right? However, with only taking the bath, you guys, it's not going to help you with the life lesson. So if you want to know exactly what life lesson you will be experiencing or what will be coming up for you to retest, you need to get you a Mercury retrograde consultation. You can do that by going to the website, spiritualcandies.com, and getting your consultation. Shout out to those of you who have ordered your baths. Shout out to those of you who have ordered your oils and your consultations. We are currently, y'all, if y'all look over there to my right, if y'all can see, the orders are piling up and we're getting ready to get them out ASAP. So shout out to each and every one of you who were able to get your hands on it. Shout out to those of you who have ordered your copper mugs. Y'all be listening to your girl, okay? Trust me, you will thank me. You will thank me after your next doctor's visit. Okay? It is what it is. So, y'all, we're going to talk about how to turn frustration into fuel. And we're going to talk about this in both love and regular. Okay. And we want to talk about it spiritually. You know what I'm saying? When I say regular, because, you know, we do spiritual talk and then we do love, relationship. So we want to start off with how to turn frustration into fuel from a spiritual perspective, because a lot of us, we get frustrated in life or we get triggered in life by people or circumstances. Sometimes a place can trigger you. You guys, lately, I've noticed that I have gone places that I see has triggered me. Okay. Now, for example, I recently went into like a tag agency. I don't know what it is about the tag agencies. Y'all, the energy in there is just great. I don't know why this energy is the way it is in the tag agency, but it is just the most craziest energy I have ever felt. And I'm just like, oh my God, I felt so crunchy up in there the entire time. I was telling Bae, like, yo, I'm gonna go sit in the truck. I'm gonna go sit in the truck. Like, I kept saying it because I did not want to be in there, right? So there are places that you can go, people that you can be around. It's just certain things that may trigger you and you may not know, you may not understand, you may become a little frustrated. Mercury going retrograde can trigger a lot of us and it can cause a lot of frustration, you guys. But we want to learn how to transmute that energy and we want to learn how to turn that energy into fuel, okay? Into fuel for us. Now, when you're dealing with a person, so let's say, for example, every time you go around your family, you know, you got this cousin that always try to trigger you. This cousin just always got something to say or just always got something to do that tends to, you know, trigger you. So you decide, you know what, I'm just not going around the family because I don't got time for the drama. I don't got time for the BS. You guys, that same energy can fuel you. Okay, you can use that energy for your advantage as opposed to your disadvantage. It's how you choose to allow that energy to penetrate your aura. If you allow it to penetrate you in the form of frustration or aggravation or getting mad or anything of that nature, then that's exactly how you're going to receive it. Right? So when you prepare yourself to go in these environments and you're like, listen, I know I'm going to go around a whole bunch of ratchet folk or a lot of ratchet energy, but when I get over there, I'm going to use this energy for my highest good. I'm going to allow this energy to, penetrate me in a way that is going to work for my highest good or in a way that is going to benefit me. That's the first part of what it is that you have to do. It is your intention. It is your intention to utilize all energy that you come in contact with, right? For your highest good. And to allow all energy that you come in contact with to penetrate your aura in a way that is going to help you to grow and not to shrink or get small or stay stuck, right? So when it comes to your intention, you guys, I don't want you running. Y'all know Sighren is not the one to tell you to stay away from negative energy. I tell you, master that. Okay, learn how to master derogatory or low vibrational energy. Don't run away from it. If people are negative, that you may have to go to that area for a reason. There may be something over there for you, but the force is putting negative people over there to keep you from going over there. That might be where your blessing is. So if you allow people to come in your life and to run you away from certain places, you should be able to exist in an environment where any and everybody, I don't care who they are. There is nobody who's going to run me away from somewhere I need to go and somewhere I need to do or somewhere I need to be. Okay. So when I went into the tag agency recently, typically I'd be like, oh my God, I just don't want to go. I don't like to be in there and things of that nature. But I had to receive that energy in a better way. Because in this particular tag agency, like if you fill out one thing wrong on a paper, they tell you got to fill it out all over again, right? They're like, oh, sorry, is that an L? Oh, that's an I? No, it should be an L. You got to do another paper, start over. You be like, you done filled out the whole paper, all the information. And because of that little mistake right there, they're like, no, you can't cross it out. No, you can't write it over. No, you got to fill out a whole other form. So it can be rather triggering and it can be rather frustrating. So when I went through it, we had to fill our paper out 3 times because by the 3rd time she told us a mistake and she was like, oh no, oh, I'm so sorry. So I know this energy was trying to trigger us, right? It was definitely trying to trigger me. So I was just like, you know what, Sighren, just breathe. For whatever reason, you need to be right here, right now. So take it all in. Okay, there's something in this environment that is helping you, that is penetrating you, that is uplifting you. Focus on that. Don't water the seed that is going to grow something bad. Water the seed of what is going to grow something good. Okay, the seed that is going to grow something that's going to help you out. Okay, we're going to have low vibrational experiences. We're going to have high vibrational experiences. People think, because everything goes what they call good every day, all day, that life is good. Sometimes you can be in your worst era when everything works out. Because you learn nothing. When you think about it, when you have all the answers, when all the answers are given to you, when everything is given to you, you learn nothing. You get no work ethic. You don't know how to work hard for stuff. You don't understand the value of stuff. You don't appreciate things. When everything comes easy, that can be rather frustrating. You know how many wealthy people out here who have all this money, right? And they're miserable. They're popping pills every day just to survive, just to get ahead, just to exist. They wake up every day and they don't feel important. They wake up every day, they don't feel valuable, and now they're on medication. They're on antidepressants and things of that nature, you guys. It's just, I used to look at a lot of like housewives, back in the day. So not really like the TV show Housewives, but I knew housewives. Okay. Just coming up in the places I used to go when I was younger, like in my 20s and stuff. I went a lot of places that a lot of housewives used to go. So when I would run out for like lunch or things of that nature before I would get the kids, I would go to the grocery store to pick up things for dinner. And there were a lot of housewives in there. And, a lot of these housewives, honey, they hated to go pick their kids up. They used to be frustrated. They used to be aggravated. They hated from the time when the husband got home and the kids got home, they would be so frustrated. And I'm like, wow, like all day long, you really don't do much. Like, why are you so frustrated? Because they didn't have any value. Everything came easy to them. They didn't have to work for anything. They drove around in their big, Suburban or their Benz or whatever it is. These were very wealthy women, and they just get up every day and they just figure out what it is that they're going to do. They try to find value. A lot of them go get Botox. A lot of them, go get some sort of surgery or go get some sort of medication or things of that nature. These women were very much so miserable. Okay, so we look at other people and we think because they have the finances or the wealth that they are happy, and these be the most miserable people, in this world. So you have to learn how to transmute, okay, any of your frustration into fuel. If you're frustrated with, let's say you're not getting the results to something that you want. You've been working so hard and you're just not getting the results, into what it is that you want, and you become frustrated. You want to sit and just say, okay, well, how is this, me not having this or me not being in that position yet? How is that helping me? How can I focus more on how this is helping me, or the advantage that I have by not being in a position or in a status that I feel I should be in by now? Maybe you need to look in another direction. Maybe you're too busy focusing on this one direction and you should look somewhere else. Okay. Maybe that is not happening because it is not that time. There are so many reasons as to why things don't occur or why things don't happen. And you have to mainly focus, or you have to tune in as to why it is that is not happening, as opposed to becoming frustrated, because it can be happening for you that has not happened yet. That could be something that is going on in your favor. Okay. So when it comes to turning frustration into fuel in life, you guys, be patient with yourself. Right? Give yourself grace, right? If you know you're not taking steps towards it, chill the fuck out. You know how many people that I meet and I deal with, and they're expecting so much. They're expecting so big of an outcome, but they're taking tiny steps. I'm like, if you know that's your goal, why are you taking these baby steps? And then you become frustrated when things are not happening as fast as you would like. When you want them to happen faster, you're going to have to take bigger steps. You're going to have to make bigger sacrifices. Okay. There are some things that you're going to have to do. There are some things that you're going to have to give up. What are you sacrificing? What sacrifices are you making so that you can tap into what it is that you're trying to go through? Have you decided what sacrifices you're going to make? It's like, okay, so if I know that I want to, lose weight, right? Oh, okay, I understand. I'm going to cut out this. I'm going to cut out that. So whatever it is that you're trying to get in life, have you decided what sacrifices? What is it that you're willing to let go because you know that is not helping you to get there, right? If you're trying to lose weight, eating junk food, eating too many carbs, all that bread and stuff, there are things that you're going to have to cut out. So have you taken the time to look at what it is that is hindering you, what it is that you need to let go of? Maybe that's why you haven't made it to where it is that you want to go. There are some things that you need to let go of. There are some things that are not working out in your favor. Okay. There are some things that you're trying to take into this new era, into this new experience that just don't belong there. And it complicates things, right? It makes it so much harder for you to get there than it needs to be. So when we're able to turn our frustration into fuel in life, you guys, we can experience more of the things that we seek, more of the things that we're going after, right? Because frustration is a very low frequency, and it is like putting weights on your feet, okay? It's like walking with weights on your back. That frustration is going to make it, come a lot slower and slower and slower and slower. So there are several sacrifices that you need to make. You just got to figure out what they are. Okay, you got to figure out what it is that those sacrifices are, because you know what you're doing that you ain't got no business doing, or some things that you like, yeah, I feel like I really can let that go. I really feel like I need to cut this out. And we got to stop playing with ourselves. That's the thing about it. Stop playing with yourself. Stop, not taking yourself serious. Stop not respecting yourself. Stop doing things that you should not be doing, right? If you want the desired results, this version of you has not manifested it yet, right? So what version of you has? Now you got to focus on the version of you that has manifested, right? You got to focus on that version of you. You got to tune into that version of you and be like, okay, what did that version of me do that got them to where they are right now? And that's what you have to do. You got to put yourself in the room of people that are similar to what it is you want to do, and stop thinking that you got to surround yourself with everybody that you know. The first thing we do the minute we get out there, we start doing something. We want all of our friends to support us. We want all of our family to support us. We want our neighbors. We want everybody to support us, right? And you got to understand, 90% of your supporters don't even know you exist. So you're going to have to really put yourself out there. It's not to gain your family and friends as your supporters. It is to really find the people who need the message that you're putting out there. It is to really connect with the people who want the message that you're putting out there, or the energy, whatever it may be that you're putting out there. If you're putting out music, if you're putting out a product, if you're putting out a message, whatever it is, there is an audience for it. But you have to do the work to reach that audience. You really, truly do. And with that, meaning you have to sacrifice certain aspects of you. Like I told you guys years ago, you would never have seen me like going live, y'all. Like I didn't start going live. My first live was in 2019, I think it was. 2019. Before 2019, I was not going to go live. You're not going to get me to talk to people. Absolutely not. I wasn't shy. I was just very much so reserved. I was always the chick in the room who I'm just coming in there to chill. I want a little spot by myself or with my husband or something. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the loudest person in the room. You will know I'm in there, but you're not going to hear me per se. You're going to hear me as far as my aura, you know, and my appearance, but you're not going to hear me like talking and loud and, you know, being very boisterous and stuff like that. Absolutely not. You will know that I was there, but I probably never said anything to you, and you saw me. So it was like I was very reserved, okay? And I was always a very open person, but a lot of people would say that I would come off as standoffish, but it's not that I was standoffish, it was that they were standoffish. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see me and you want to speak to me, you need to come to me and approach me. Right? You need to come up to me and say, hey, Sighren, how are you? I'm such and such. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect me to walk in a room and look for you and approach you. Like I'm not. I'm just going to come in the room and I'm going to keep to myself. I'm chilling. I'm in my mode. I'm in my zone. That's just what I do. Right? So don't expect me to, you know, be loud and go and just be, you know, looking for people. I just don't do that type of stuff. But this was a version of me that I had to sacrifice, y'all. Now, when I walk in a room, I'm the one who's going to go up to just about everybody and shake their hand. Hey, how you doing? I'm Sighren. Hey, it's nice to meet you. Hey, how are you? That's me now. Before, that was never me. I was not that girl. You guys, I'm not going to say anything to you. So now you have to look at what aspect of you do you need to sacrifice? What version of you or what things about you do you need to let go of? Because it's just not getting you where you want to be to stay where you are and who you are, right? What parts of you, what aspects of you? Are you too shy? Are you a procrastinator? Are you lazy? Do you wait till the last minute all the time? You know, do you not speak? Are you not very, do you not know how to voice yourself? Or like, what is it about you? There's something about you that you know you cannot take into that next realm, or you know that is not in that next realm of success that you are trying to reach. Now, it can be things about you. It can be things about your environment. It could be things about your crew. It could be things about people that you hang around. You know, it doesn't always have to be things about you. Sometimes some of us are so like we're so prosperous, we're so successful, we're so creative and things of that nature, but it's kind of like we surround ourselves with such low vibrational energy. It's hard for us to get ahead. You ever hear of the people who, let's say, made it? You know what I'm saying? Let's say somebody like LeBron James, right? Let's say if he would have never moved out of his hood, he made it into the finals and all of that stuff. I mean, into the NBA, but he bought a house in the hood. I don't know if we will be hearing about him today, because 9 times out of 10, somebody probably would have tried to rob him, hit him up. You know, who knows? You know how many stories I've heard of people who have made it, okay, but tried to stay in the hood, stay around these low vibrational folk that's just plotting and ready to get you. And some people have made it out of the hood and moved out of the hood, but they brought the surrounding of people with them. You know, kind of like, what is his name? Was it Rich Homie Quan? You know, and I'm not saying that his folk did anything, but I am saying that, things happen when you move out of the hood. Look at the girl, Selena. Remember, she tried to let her fan, come and run her club and let that person get close to her and things of that nature. It's like you move out of the hood, you move into these big, beautiful homes, but then you're bringing that environment with you. It's like you're hoarding. You know what I'm saying? You're hoarding something. What are you hoarding, you guys? What do you need to let go of? Are you hoarding, friends? Are you hoarding family members? Are you hoarding whatever it may be? You have to look at your own life because it's going to be different for each and every one of us. And you got to look into things that you need to let go. Something can't go with you to this next level, boo. Something cannot go with you. Somebody cannot go with you. Now, some of us, some of us, you guys, listen, I'm going to tell you straight up. Some of you, these people are so close to you, it's going to hurt. It is going to hurt. Some of you, these are your sisters, your brothers, maybe your siblings. Some of you, these are your parents. Okay? Some of you, these are your older children who they're like 18, 19, 20, you know what I'm saying? And still at home or things of that nature. Some of you, these are your own children that you're going to have to cut that cord. You're going to have to let them fly away. You're going to have to let them do their own thing because with you trying to hold them dear to you, that's going to hold you in a situation that you don't want to be in. Right? So you're going to have to let go. It could be your significant other that you've been with for a while. If that person does not vibrate to where it is you're trying to go, it's hard. It is hard, especially when it comes to relationships. My husband and I, we've been together 27 years, you guys. It's hard. It's not easy being in a relationship that long. I'm not going to sit up here and boast before y'all. I'm not going to sit up here, make y'all think, hold on, y'all. Make y'all think that it is when it's not. It's not easy. Because sometimes I get to a point where I get stuck and Bay got to pull me up. And then sometimes he gets to a point where he gets stuck and I got to pull him up. And sometimes we get to that point where we like, God, I don't want to be pulled up. I'm tired of always grabbing to grow. It's a lot. But then we have to think about the fact that we're in this together. So if you stop growing, I stop growing. So who is it that you're around? You got to look at your surroundings. You got to look at the people in your life, y'all. When you're looking for or when you're moving towards the road of success, they say that it can be lonely. It can be rather lonely, but you just got to make sure that you are on top of everything. You got to make sure that you're wise enough to know what's going on around you. You got to, look at life from a different perspective. As you get frustrated in life, you got to learn how to turn that into fuel. You got to learn how to transmute that energy and make that experience work for you. Make that experience help you to grow. Even if you just overall learn how to deal with frustration, how to deal with that frequency, because that's what it is at the end. It's a frequency that you have to learn how to master it. Okay. So we're looking at high frequency tech habits. Okay, because y'all know we talk a lot about tech over here, right? I'm always talking about the machine coming in, taking over, and things of that nature. So we want to talk about some high frequency tech habits, okay, that we can inherit to make sure that our life goes a lot smoother. Because I strongly believe, AI is just, I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking like AI is getting the soul. I feel like AI got a soul over a lot of these avatars that we're seeing. AI seems to be more of a soul than people that I talk to and come in contact with. That is insane. I think that whatever's in this truth serum, it ain't for me. I can't take that one anymore. I think that one has honey in it. And I just can't take that one no more because it's really messing with my throat. My throat was not this thing gonna dry until I started messing with it. But anywho, so yeah, I'm starting to think that AI, you guys, I don't know what that is plugged into. So my theory about a lot of stuff, and my theory can change. This is just my theory as it is today. The overall energy, the creator. I at this time don't see it as a being. I see it as a frequency. a very much so structured frequency that as it has experienced other frequencies, it has mastered them, right? And it has become this ball of a frequency that every other frequency like really wants to become. And it's just not connected to a being, a supreme being. It is more like connected to a frequency, a vibration. And you can experience it whether you're in an avatar or not. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to AI, and we're looking at artificial intelligence, right? When it comes to AI, I don't see it as artificial intelligence in this form. You got artificial intelligence and then you have intelligence, right? So you got artificial intelligence and then you have actual intelligence. That's what I see as the, I don't know if it's a divine feminine energy or if it's the Holy Trinity. I'm leaning more towards it is the Holy Trinity, but this intelligence gives birth to the masculine energy. Now, I know they told us that the masculine give birth to the feminine from the rib and all of that, but we know that that's artificial, right? But the feminine gives birth to the masculine to experience itself. And it knows that because it is, I want to say, ignorant of its true self, it believes in things outside of itself, which money, clothes, cars, jewelry, all of the material stuff, right? Is what this feminine energy has given birth to, this masculine energy. It's a very hard working energy. It is a very protective type of energy, but I want to say rather dumb, right? And when I say masculine, I mean us in this physical, form, in this physical vessel, in the lower aspects of self, the solar plexus on down. You know what I'm saying? Not low as in less than, but low as in just low, not the high, right? But when you actually become inverted, it's the opposite. That can be the higher, where the root chakra is actually on top, right? And when the root chakra is on top, or when you are vibrating to the actual root chakra, you guys, that's when you are into more materialistic type of things, right? So when it comes to this high frequency tech, you guys, it's about really tapping into a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. It's a frequency. It's tapping into frequencies. And it's understanding. And this is what I have started to understand, that the money has no value, right? It has no value, but it has a purpose. Money has no value, but it has a purpose. Okay, it's like a pencil. You know what I'm saying? It has no value really, but it does have a purpose. And when I started to realize that money has no value, but it has a purpose, that's when I learned, or I developed a different relationship with money, or a different belief. Or experience. I don't want to say a belief, an observation is what I want to say, is what I inherited in regards to money. A different observation is what I realized about money, because money has now become artificial. It has now become intelligence. It's no longer a physical paper dollar. They're taking away the coins, the dollars, all of that stuff. And it is now transmuting, or it's now transitioning into a frequency. And with that frequency, you guys, as we tap into that frequency, or as we understand that frequency, you can tap into an array of abundance without physically having money per se, right? You can tap into an array of things, you guys, without physically having money. When you are able to tap into the frequency of what money is, and you allow that frequency to find and flow through you, it's like you will start to experience things. The other day, I was in the store, And y'all know I was trying to pay with something with cash, and I didn't have that last dollar. I'm looking through my purse and I'm like, dang, I don't got the last dollar. And out of nowhere, a dollar just floated past my shoulder and onto the counter. And I'm sitting up here like, where did this dollar come from? And the lady behind me, she wasn't behind me in line, but she was like in the line next to me. She just walked over there and just put a dollar on the counter. And she was like, here you go. But it's just the fact of, I didn't have that dollar, and it found me, and the way it floated, I didn't have to ask for it or nothing. I was just really focusing and tuning into the frequency of having this money to pay for what it was that I wanted, right? And it was like, once I tuned into the frequency of it, like I said, it's like a dollar just floated right past me onto the counter. I didn't even know this lady heard. I don't know how she heard. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a loud store. I don't even know how she even heard that I'm sitting here looking for a dollar. Like, how did you even know that? You know, but like I said, when you tune into the frequency. Now, because money is becoming more, to me, of this frequency as opposed to a physical thing, they're going to trigger your frequency so that you don't vibrate to this frequency of what I want to say is abundance or prosperity or whatever it is. Okay. So there are a lot of tech items that are coming out that are tuning into your frequency, monitoring you, fine tuning you. Okay. And allegedly sending out certain tones, okay, to your body, to your aura, to allegedly lower the frequency. Let's say, what if that's the situation? Phones, Apple Watch, okay, AirPods, things of that nature, you guys, okay? So what are some high frequency tech habits that I feel, or these are some high frequency tech habits that I feel we can tune into so that we cannot be so, penetrated by these outside forces, by these tones, by these frequencies, okay, that may be lowering our frequency so that our experience can become a little less than what it normally would be. All right. So when it comes to your tech habits, you guys, I would say unfollow pages and people that does not serve where you're going. I'm talking cousins, friends, your mama, your uncle. If just because that's your mother, that don't mean you get to follow or I'm going to follow you. Now, if you're my mother and I feel like you offer, something to me that, oh, when I see your post, I feel inspired, I feel intrigued, I feel motivated. Okay, boom. So that's something that we have to do. We have to make sure that we go and detox, okay, your list of who it is that you're following. I notice, you guys, that when I would solicit my page, and let's say I say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. Here's my YouTube channel. You can come subscribe. When I solicit my page to people, it gives off that Sinners. Remember in the movie Sinners where they had to ask permission in order to come in, and you have to invite them in? It gives that energy. So I stopped soliciting my page. I stopped soliciting, my channel. I'm like, whoever will find me will find me. Because when I started soliciting it to people, these people were like vampires. They came in and drained me of my energy. So you have to be careful who it is that you are soliciting your social media to. Now, that's even if you have a business, because remember, we're looking at my aspect from a business perspective, right? I don't have any personal pages. I don't have Twitter. I don't have, what is it, Twitter? Is it X now or something? I don't have TikTok. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any of that, okay? But I do have YouTube, right? And when I was soliciting my page to people, they came in and they just started draining me, y'all. So you got to be very careful. I'm noticing that as well. You got to be careful who it is that you're soliciting your page to, who it is that you're inviting into your realm, who it is that you are inviting into your aura, because you don't know these people. These can be complete and utter strangers coming in with a specific agenda. So the need to unfollow. You got to call your power back, you guys. I'm going to tell you something. The less people you follow, okay, the less energy you have in your aura. Right? Because the minute that you start following somebody, the minute that you subscribe to somebody, the minute that it's almost like a contract. It's the same thing. It's like a contract. Okay. I'm going to attach to you. Now you get to see what they like, what they do. And the first thing you're going to do is, if you like it, what you going to do? Oh, I'm going to do that now. Now you're going to feed off of that person. Now you're going to watch them do what they do so that you can become inspired. Right? We're only looking at people who inspire us. But people who do not inspire us, people who, if you don't have anything to offer me, then guess what? This is not a favorable contract, because I'm the only one offering energy in this connection. So the need to unfollow, right? People that just do not fit in where it is you're trying to go. And I'm saying for real, just because somebody your cousin, that don't mean you got to follow them. If your cousin is not trying to be a lawyer like you trying to be, then guess what, cousin? I don't even need to know what you got going on. I don't need to follow you. I don't need to be all up in your Facebook, because otherwise I'm just peeping. I'm just watching. I'm just all up in your business, right? I'm just looking at what it is you got going on. I ain't liking none of your pictures. I'm not commenting under anything. Nothing is happening. Right? So you want to kind of X all of that energy out. People that you don't know, people that maybe you started following them years ago. Okay. But now you need to cut that out. You need to start really Xing. And speaking of follow, there was a young lady recently who came on a live, and she subscribed to the channel, and then she unsubscribed to the channel. You know what I'm saying? And at first I was like, I'm like, dang, well, what happened that made her like unsubscribe to the channel? But then I looked at it and I know what I do now. The way the way my energy is now, honey, you're going to have some good claws to hold on to this energy, okay? I'm not just allowing anybody to come in and try to feed off of me, or anybody to come in and try to take all the, the knowledge that I give and things of that nature. Sometimes people go a little deeper than that. And I'm looking at it like, dang, I guess Miss Thing couldn't hold on. I was moving too fast. I was vibrating too fast. It was like, you know how it is when you got a bug or something on your car and you start driving and you start going fast and they start shaking and eventually, boom, they just fly off. That's how I looked at that situation. I'm like, honey, you got to vibrate like this, okay, to remain over here, especially as a subscriber. Otherwise, you could just be a spectator. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps maybe she fell under that category, which was the spectator category. And that's why, she fell off as a subscriber. I don't want to like anything. I don't want to, leave any comments. I can't even leave my footprint as to why it is that I'm here. Okay. So yes, unfollow people, you guys. Go through your list, see who you following. And sometimes, listen, social media will automatically put you into following people. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even request to follow that person, but social media will now automatically put you to subscribe to and to be following people that you don't even know. Why do you think they do that, y'all? Why do you think social media will blind follow, will actually have you as a blind follow? Why do you think they do that without telling you, if it means nothing? If you following somebody has no frequency, it has no purpose whatsoever, why do they put a blind follow for you, have you following all these people that you didn't even request? But they ain't gonna have all these people following you that you didn't request. They gonna have you following people that you didn't even request. So you're gonna have to detox, okay? Detox that whoever it is you're following, whoever it is you're subscribed to, and just hold people up to those standards, okay? Delete apps, apps that you're not using, anything that's taking up space. If you got a phone that got a whole bunch of apps that you're not using, is taking up space. And what happens when something is dead energy? Okay, especially if you have a business. If you have a business, your phone, and you use your phone for your business, your phone needs to be like spotless. Don't have no apps on there that you do not use. Okay. Do not have any apps on there that, you're paying for. You don't even know you're paying for them and things of that nature. Listen, you're going to have to make sure that you go through and you delete any apps that are just blindly sitting there, because these apps are recording data about you. These apps are monitoring your every move, whether they tell you or not. Right now, we have a class action lawsuit against Google. Okay, there's a class action lawsuit out there right now against Google for monitoring and watching everybody's moves. So all of these apps, allegedly may have some sort of clause where they're going to watch you, even though you click do not watch me, do not record my data, and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure they have what they call the blind contract, okay, or the part of the contract that is deleted. So it'll say, actually, we have another part of this agreement that is not physically written on this one, but it is included in this one. And on that part that you don't see, it says, yeah, I know I say you don't have to watch me all the time, but you can watch me about 6 hours a day. So we have a lot of apps right now where they are monitoring. Okay, you gotta, not only do you have to look at these people that are tapping into your energy, now you gotta look at all of these apps, okay, that are tapping into your energy. Technology, you know, and artificial intelligence now that is constantly tapping into your energy, which is why we start to feel so drained. It's so hard for us to feel motivated. It's so hard for us to do the smallest things nowadays, you know? So we got to make sure that we go and we declutter, like clean out your phone, make your phone bougie, okay? Make your computer, your laptop, bougie-fy it, okay? Bougie it up, you guys. Make it high vibrational. If you're going to have this phone around you, make sure your phone is high vibrational, okay? Delete all of those apps that you have on your phone that you don't use, okay? Make sure you go through all of the agreements on the apps that you got. Ask them not to track you. Ask them not to track your every move. Ask them not to record what websites you go to. Ask them not to send you emails from all of their people that they got that are going to now start spamming you. You know, you got to make sure that you have very stable contracts with these apps and things that are on your phone. Okay. You want to make sure your phone becomes very bougie. All right. Unsubscribe, you guys, from people who maybe they have subscribed you to. There's a lot of that going on where, like I said, you would get that blind subscription. You don't even know that you subscribed to it, but you did. Okay. You can also put your phone on do not disturb, you guys. So maybe for like an hour or two throughout the day, you want to give yourself a do not disturb time from your phone, because I know we could turn our ringer off. And sometimes you just, you know, you may not want to miss something important. So some of us feel like, you know, we don't feel comfortable turning our ringer off because you just never know. But I think that we deserve a do not disturb, okay? Especially where maybe you're going to take a nap, or just maybe some time throughout the day where you're going to go outside, you know, walk, meditate, whatever it is that you need to do. You need to give yourself some do not disturb time. If you are strong enough to put your phone away, maybe in another room, or, you know, whatever, just turn your phone off, whatever it is, give yourself that do not disturb time throughout the day, every day. Okay, we're not talking about sometime. We're talking about every day. Give yourself some do not disturb time. Okay. We also want to make sure that we clear out emails, you guys. I know that is the hardest thing to do, and I am so annoyed when it comes to email nowadays, because they hack these emails accounts so easily. And the thing about it is, what I've noticed is I started getting these spam emails, right? And when I would block it, so I would get an email from a spam account, right? Or a spam email, and then I would go in and I would block it. And what I noticed is about 30 minutes later, 5 new spam accounts would come and send me something, and I would block those 5. And then I noticed 30 minutes later, 5 more. I'm like, it's a cycle. It is a cycle. So unfortunately, they're kind of driving us to pay for spamware, you know, to pay for spyware and stuff like that. We're having to pay for email accounts so that they are less likely to be hacked, okay, and or spam, unfortunately. But at the same time, they do have these hackers that have what they call the master key. And with this master key, they can break in anything. They have like it's like a master password that it can override any password, any account, anywhere, anytime. So however they're creating this, I don't know. So that's why I'm just like, when it comes to emails nowadays, y'all, I'm just really like trying to really get rid of my emails slowly but surely. and I have one email that I use. That's the one that I actually pay for, and I want to just leave it at that. But we do need to clear out our emails, you guys. Going through your emails, deleting all of your spam emails, y'all. Because with us having that spam email there, remember, that's just heavy junk on top of junk. That's hoarding. That is your email. So it is connected to your energy. And if we're allowing all of these spam accounts to come and just sit in our junk email, that is holding space. And we need to make sure that we clean that out. Make sure you go through and you clean out your trash and your email as well. Don't just transfer everything to the trash. Now you got to go take out the trash, right? So you're going to have to take that next step, you guys, as well. Okay. Tech-free mornings, you guys. We already know when you first get up in the morning, leave that phone alone, honey. Don't turn on TV. Don't turn on nothing. See if you can just really lay there for a while. And that's what I like to do. I like to really just lay there for a while, honestly. Fortunately for me, I'm grateful that I can lay there until I really feel like getting up, okay? And that could be 10, 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It don't be that long. But I'll lay there and really just try to think about what I remember about my dreams, what it is that I want to do today, you know, what it is that I need to do today. You know, I really try to really just plan my day out. You know what I'm saying? Give myself time. That way I ain't getting up and just randomly just going wherever the wind blowing me. I'm putting more intention in what it is that I'm doing for that day, right? So yes, tech-free morning, you guys. This helps you to not start your day in someone else's frequency, okay? Because when you start scrolling, when you get that phone and you go to IG or you go to YouTube and you start scrolling, automatically you are now plugged into someone else's energy. Whoever it is that you're watching and scrolling, whoever it is you are now connecting with all of these energies. Okay, so from the moment you pick up your phone and you start checking emails, or you know, you start checking whatever it is that you're checking, you're now tuned into a whole other dimension, a whole nother frequency, and now your energy has become tainted automatically. Okay, so you want to keep your energy as fresh and as pure as you possibly can. Okay. If you're going to have some apps, you guys, use apps with benefits, okay? Meaning apps that you need, apps that are going to be very beneficial for you. I like, you know, like step counting apps, you know, apps that'll help you to count your calories, apps that are good for meditation, apps that are good for tracking your goals as far as, you know, things that you need to do in life. You know, hey, this is done, a checklist. Hey, that's done. Hey, this is still pending. You know, you want to get some beneficial apps, some apps that come with benefits, something that's going to help you in life. If you're going to have apps on your phone, they should have a purpose in your life, and that purpose should be to help you to get ahead. Okay, so use apps, you guys, that are going to be highly, you know, high frequency, because they help to benefit you in some way, shape, or form. I know some people like to use like Pinterest, you know, to get great ideas, either if you're decorating or if you're trying to find an outfit for the day. You want to find certain colors. Maybe you're like, you know, today I want to wear pink, but I just don't know how I could wear pink. You know, you can get, you know, all type of apps like that that will really help you to choose things for you to do for the day, for you to wear, or for you to have a better day. Okay. Turn off screen 1 hour before bed. You know, put your phone away. I like to do it a couple of hours before, you guys, because you'll be surprised as to how social media can, you know, affect your dream state. You know, if you go to sleep, you scroll and you just scroll till you fall, that's not good at all. Because now you can take this technology and these frequencies are now in your dream state. Okay, so you have to make sure it is in your intention to cut that phone off. You want to make sure that you delete that screen time. Okay, you want to get out of that screen time. You want to disconnect, right, from what it is that you're doing, and make sure that, you know, you're really prepared for this dream state. You're really prepared to go into the dream state with an open mind, and not something that's going to trigger a specific dream or a specific experience in your dream state. Okay, so turn off your screen or put your phone away at least an hour before you go to bed, y'all. It's not that hard. It really truly isn't. Okay. You want to ground yourself after you use your phone. Let's say you've been scrolling for a while. Y'all know it's easy to scroll for hours. I ain't gonna lie. It is very much so easy to scroll and get caught up in life, okay? When it comes to this phone, when it comes to any type of technology, any type of computers, we can get lost in that world for hours, okay? So the need to, when you get off your phone, to ground yourself. right? Find a healthy way to ground yourself. Really put your phone up for the day and really find a healthy way to ground yourself, you guys. Me personally, once I put my phone up, I want to go take a shower. I want to clean myself. I want to rid myself of all of those frequencies. I want that water to wash over me and wash over everything I done came in contact with, social media, all of the people I done came in contact, all of the different auras, anybody who's still in my aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to wash and just focus on just cleansing and stripping myself of that energy. And then I'm going to go get in my bed all clean, nice, and just, you know, feeling all bougie and stuff, you guys. And that way I can have a good night's sleep. And then I'm less likely to not remember my dream in the morning. You know what I'm saying? When your brain is cluttered because you have all of these frequencies attacking you while you sleep because you got your phone right there and you didn't put it away, you didn't ground yourself, you didn't unplug, okay? That's what we need to do. We need to unplug and then ground ourselves, right? So that we can have more efficient sleep, you guys. So the need to ground yourself after using your technology, you guys, this will help you to maintain the high frequency lifestyle that you've worked so hard to build, y'all. We really didn't get into relationship today, you guys, but when we come back on Wednesday, we will get into the relationship aspect of this, y'all. Because when it comes to that, we're going to talk about some other things we can do with technology when it comes to relationships that I feel like we need to focus on. We need to, you know, address. We need to talk about. But right now, this is about your everyday. This is about you being responsible with technology, you being responsible with your own energy, you guys, with your aura. This is just where the world is moving now. The world is moving in this machine phase, okay? And we have to move along with it, you guys. These frequencies that we're coming in contact with are going to trigger you. They're going to make you frustrated. They're going to make you, you know, worry. They're going to make you a little depressed. They're going to make you feel some type of way. You're going to come in contact with them every day. You may not get mad that day, or you may not have, you know, a bad day, but we really need to learn how to master ourselves so that we're not easily affected by these frequencies, you guys. They're everywhere. Okay, they are honestly everywhere. And it's just wherever it is that you go, you can come in contact with them, but you want to be prepared and you want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to become the master of these frequencies so that they are not able to affect your life or your lifestyle or what it is that you're trying to do. You can just let it walk on by. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.